back to another episode of Top of the Morning Show. Everyone, Ollie here, and we have a special episode of the Top of the Morning Show for you guys, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So we actually had the privilege of interviewing the controller of Baltimore, Maryland, and I want to show you guys that right now.
For the people that are watching this, why don't you tell us a bit more about how you started in your community engagement process?
Well, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here in this beautiful space. And so I am not from Baltimore, but I got here as fast as I could. And when I arrived, it was for a federal clerkship, actually. I graduated from law school, so I was born in D.C., grew up in Montgomery County, went away for a long time, came back for a federal clerkship. And my husband and I settled in Fells Point. And I sort of instantly realized that there were a lot of ways to get engaged in Baltimore. I think that's one of the great things about Baltimore is that it is easy to get involved, whether it's a nonprofit or you're a community association or at a neighborhood rec center or whatever. So I joined my neighborhood association and the Fells Point Residents Association, and eventually I became secretary and just started seizing opportunities. I was initially really interested in transportation because on my first day of work, I went to take the number 10 bus from Fells Point to downtown, and it did not come. And I was just sort of frustrated by the lack of reliable transit in Baltimore. And so when the Red Line started, this was many years ago, when the Red Line started, they went to the Fells Point Residents Association and said, hey, we want you guys to have input into what the Fells Point station will look like. And so I volunteered, and I got very involved then with the station and what it would look like, and a station area advisory committee. They thought I was good, I guess, so then they put me on the citywide community board to work citywide on Red Line issues. But yeah, I really just started. My husband used to joke that if I ever went missing from a walk, he would just follow my 311 posts. Because it was like, missing tree there, tree stump that needs to be done there, and so it just started getting to know how things worked in Baltimore.
Oh, isn't that awesome? Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Look at that. Pristine.
Wasn't that amazing? Didn't you guys enjoy? Well, come on, let's have another look on the controller.
Models, but also we want to share with students that you don't start as comptroller of the state of Maryland. So think back a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you didn't go to school all the time in Maryland, but what were some of your favorite parts of school and some of your least favorite things in school?
Sure. So I went to a small Catholic school from 1st to 8th grade in Washington, D.C., called St. Anne's Academy, and then I went to Walt Whitman High School in Bethesda for high school before going off to Dartmouth for undergrad and University of Texas for School of Law, for law school. So 4 very different schools. I honestly, like throughout all of my schooling, my favorite things were the students and the teachers, right? The people, like you just, it's so interesting to learn from different people, to make friends. I will say, one of the pieces of advice I've given my cousins and nephews and whatnot when they're going to new school is involve yourself in activities with people who are not like you, right? I met a lot of great people in my high school, especially my senior year, who were not like me, who became some of my closest friends.
Nice.
I was a rower in high school as well, and met a lot of great people through crew and the newspaper that I did and whatnot. But and then in college, I also was very involved in helping get a group off the ground called the DREAM program, which created mentoring programs between public housing and colleges and college students. And I met a ton of people doing that who I would never have met before. We were in totally different circles. But I would also just go do things like an outing club trip or a lecture or whatever there was going on. Even if none of my friends would come, because I was like, well, whatever, I'll meet people there, it's fine. And if I don't meet people there, it'll still be interesting, So I met a lot of people sort of just signing up for things and doing them. And I love that. I will say, I think I learned too late how important it is to talk to your teachers. I sort of always had this I don't want to bother them, I don't want to bother them after, but really they want to be bothered, right? That's why they're doing this work. And so I try to remind my kids, no, go to the after school stuff, talk to your teachers, they really want you to. And I mean, I had a number of really phenomenal teachers who...
Welcome back, everyone. Still Ollie here, and we're here at the Jacobs Garrett's mansion. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. So I hope you guys are enjoying the show as well. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with the comptroller.
So life, and one of the first questions I always get asked is, but do I have to be an engineer to join the Engineers Club? And the answer is clearly no. The engineers bought the club from the city in 1962, and at that time they changed the bylaws, which made them much more inclusive. Previously, it was only engineers. But as you can see now, in the last 50 years, we've become much more diverse private club. We're inclusive of both genders, of course, all business professionals, races, creeds. It's a very, very diverse social club, which really reflects the diversity of the city of Baltimore. And what's great is that this club is in probably one of the gems, and if you haven't been in here before, you know it's a hidden gem from most of the people of the city of Baltimore. And as members, you get to bring that to bear, whether you are trying to impress a date, whether you're trying to impress your dad, whether you're trying to impress a client. There's nobody you bring through this door, literally, that is not going to be thoroughly impressed. And I know that saying seeing people who come in here, such as Kevin Spacey when they filmed The House of Cards, jaw-dropping when he walks through the door for the first time. So when you see people like that have that reaction, who've been everywhere, seen everything, and maybe done everything, you know you're sitting in a gem. And you can all be a part of this. Many of you here, I notice, look to be under 40. We have some very wonderful membership opportunities for members under 40 and under 30. You can join the club if you're under 30 for as little as $35 a month in dues, and from 30 to 39, $55 a month in dues. I know that's all less than your mobile phone bills. So very, very easy to join the club and make this a part of your life, just like you might make a gym membership, although I guarantee you, you will come here and eat and drink far more often than you will probably go to the gym. But without further ado, I think one of the biggest things I want to mention is that I have a drawing to do. So if you haven't yet put a business card in here, please do so, because I'm going to draw for 2 bottles of wine, and then I'm going to draw for a 90-day preview membership of the club that will allow you to use the club in the next 90 days. All those wonderful events I was talking about are things you would be able to come to and use. You'd also be able to utilize the club for a small part of your event during that time. So if you haven't yet given Barry Casanova here your card, or we didn't put it on the way in the door, please do so. All right, without further ado, Barry, I would like to draw for the white wine, a lovely South African Chardonnay from the Glen Carlo.
Gee, the room got silent all of a sudden.
And the winner is Tia Schaffner. Congratulations, you're welcome. I hope you like wine, and if not, I know somebody over there does. And now we're drawing for Troublemaker, a red blend from Paso Robles, fabulous wine, and featured down in our bar right now. Patty Click. And a troublemaker smile if I ever saw one. All right, and last but not least, this is for a 90-day preview membership. I'm sorry, members, but if your card isn't here and isn't picked, it's invalid. Got to. David Miller. David Miller, wonderful. Come right on up. Thank you very much. The last thing I want to mention before I let you get back to all the lovely networking you were doing is that this gentleman here on my right, Barry Casanova, long-term member, will be giving a tour of the mansion at 7:30 after this event. I highly recommend the tour if you want to learn more about the building, the mansion, the history of both it as well as those who lived here. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for coming this evening.
Now, welcome back, everyone. If you guys ever wanted to check this place out, it's down in the Baltimore area, Jacob Garrett's mansion. It's definitely something to come by and take a look at, especially if you're coming by through Baltimore. So let's take a look and see what the controller has to say.
Right, so if you have a seat at the table, bring another one, bring 2 more. Make sure that you are pulling other women along with you, right? I think if you look at sort of the most successful and the most amazing women in history, like they did that. They were looking out for and working with other women. And that helped make them successful in changing the barriers and removing the barriers that they were working to overcome. So I'm really proud of the team I've built, and it has a lot of great women in it. And so, I think but at the end of the day, it all takes hard work. Eleanor Roosevelt said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And I like to add, and who are willing to put in the time and work to reach them. So I think it's have that vision, but recognize that it may take some time to get there. A final thing I'll just say is there are multiple paths to the mountaintop, right? So you may have a vision, you may have something you want to do and care about, there's lots of different ways to get there, right? So don't be, if you're thrown off course a little bit, maybe it's a scenic detour and you get to see some new thing that you hadn't seen, but don't worry, like you can keep going to where you were originally headed, just taking a different path. So, really excited to keep doing this work and really grateful for all that you've done for Herstory, for the Maryland Women's Heritage Center, and more. Thank you.
Well, that's it for today, guys. I'm Ali Rabeea. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. And if you guys want to contact me, my info's down below. Thanks.
Wait, you're having a good time.
Bay Gateways Network.